Right, I'm back. So, in my previous video, and I don't know if they'll actually load up in order on YouTube where I'm sending these, I came up with an idea I haven't discussed yet, is expectations. So expectations, everybody has them. And I'm sure over time, if you've done any form of counseling or psychology or anything like that, expectations are things you shouldn't have. Well, you should. So expectations of self is very, very different, because you know what you want to achieve, but you can set your expectations too high. Sometimes you need to bring the bar down a little bit more so that you can actually meet expectations that you set for yourself. Now, expectations you have for others, that is something you need to be very, very careful of. So, when you have your own children, or you have brothers or sisters or people that you're working with, you expect them to achieve tasks. You expect them to do certain things. You expect them to understand you better. You expect them to know what you're thinking. Many, many times people expect them to know what you're thinking, and they don't know what you're thinking. People are not in your head. You're the only one in your own head. And this needs to be understood very, very clearly. Expectations are dangerous. They create a lot of conflict. When you have an expectation of someone else, your teenage daughter, who you expect to come in and do their chores, wash the dishes, tidy their room, they know what they need to do, get off the phone so much, get off Instagram, don't vape, all the things they know they're not supposed to do, and they still go ahead and do it. They still take advantage of many, many situations. And it can be very, very frustrating. And you're the one that gets riled up because they're not meeting your expectation. The first thing you need to check is, have you spoken to them about your expectation? Have you communicated that you would like ABC done, 1, 2, 3, this done by that time? Open your windows, close your windows, open curtains. If I've opened your window, please check and close the window. If I've asked you to do something, have you done it? Some expectations are reasonable, especially when you're bringing children up. You are teaching them how to become good people, do the right things, so that when they're running their own individual lives, they kind of have an idea of what they should be achieving, However, expectations of other people, you're driving in the road, and you expect people to adhere to the rules because that's why they have rules, but people don't. Living in South Africa, you cannot expect anyone to be doing anything at this stage. Where are we now? August, the end of August 2025. Let's hope this changes in time. I do believe things are getting better, but people are going to take chances. People are going to go against the grain. It's human nature. That's why we need boundaries. That's why we need rules. That's why we need a red, orange and a green traffic light to tell you when to stop for other people to take turns. Adults are as bad as children. They don't want to. If I can take a chance, I'm going to take it. I'm not as bad. I'm a bit more considerate of other people, I'd like to think. But, at the end of the day, you cannot have expectations that that person is thinking the way you are thinking. We are all thinking on our own path. Many people are very busy in their minds, so they've got their own process going on. It's loud inside their heads, and they're thinking of this, this, and this. You'll be walking through a shopping center, and you expect a person to be looking directly at you. If you know them, they're going to greet you. You expect a person to say hello. That expectation is just normal. And they walk right by you, and you just feel completely hurt because they've now snubbed you. It's like, how dare they snub you? Some people do it consciously. I think many do. But some people are looking straight at you, but their mind is off in the clouds thinking of what should have happened this morning while I was driving on the traffic. I nearly, rear-ended somebody. You don't know what's going on in their head and what is going on. So having an expectation of how other people should behave in your presence is actually quite arrogant, okay? And that might sound harsh, okay? You expect other people to behave a certain way, and expectations are going to just leave you disappointed. You are the one that's going to be hurt. You are the one that's going to be upset because somebody didn't do what you expected them to do. So unless you've actually particularly asked them to do something, and if you enjoy micromanaging, that's your indaba. I don't. But you've got to be careful of what expectations you lay out for other people. Sometimes you set the bar too high for your children. It's hard for them to achieve what you want them to achieve. They need to almost be empowered into achieving what they want to do. If they want their room to be a mess, you kind of need to leave them to their situation. They must live in it. However, I don't believe leaving it there is the end of the story either. I do believe we still need to facilitate. I do believe we need to still drop hints. I do believe you still need to speak to people, communicate, and say, please, can you try and do this? You do need to set your own boundaries. If something is offensive, you need to let people know. So communication is huge when it comes to expectations as well. So you can't just leave people up to their own devices. Some people just don't get it, and you need to facilitate and guide. So guiding a process is completely different without having the expectation that it's going to land the way it lands. If you see movement and activity happening in the area that people are trying, you need to give them their due. You need to also accept and embrace that people have their way of thinking, doing, and achieving what they want to. Some people love to live in the mess. Sometimes people, their surroundings, the way they work, it's representative of who they are or what they're going through in any given moment. So again, considering other people, what they're going through, need to kind of meet your expectations. They also have expectations of you. And though, as much as we shouldn't have expectations, and we do have these expectations, you need to kind of soften the expectations process or try and let go and detach from the need to expect. So expectations it's a huge topic in itself. I would love to actually discuss what your expectations of another person would be, where you are struggling with expectations and how you think you can deal with it, or you can't, or let's find ways of working through the process of the conflict and understanding of what you should be expecting, what you can let go of, how we can work through the need for the expectations. Often it's a need as well. And we all have these issues. We all have these situations. I'd love to work with you and help you out with that. So please email me at livesmart foundational development, livesmartfd@gmail.com. And I'd love to actually help communicate and share scenarios, help you understand it, share perspectives, give different understandings of how differently one can think and move forward with forward thinking. No more old school thinking. We are moving out of the ways of being of old into a new way of being. And Live Smart Foundational Development is here to help you with your foundations, solidify what is, build bridges where it's broken, redevelop a whole new foundation for yourselves in new beginnings, new paths walking forward, helping with crossroads. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to achieve. I'm happy to work one-on-one, person-to-person, in person. I want to build it all into groups eventually and work group to group, community to community, and grow our forward thinking with Live Smart Foundational Development. So please communicate with me, livesmartfd@gmail.com. We'll chat soon.